Okay, here's the second load of gear I'm going to be taking up to White Pocket, which is just right up there where the sun is at the moment. Just kind of looking around White Pocket at the crowd of people. We've got like 600 people up there or something. It's not quite that bad, but it's not going to be pretty. This is the iPiano, which is something I'm going to be using tonight. I'll show the inside of it here before we get it set up for tonight in the dark. I've used it like 3 or 4 nights in a row now, and it's done a really nice job. I'm pretty impressed. It's pretty compact. It's heavy for the size of it, but I understand that is all battery, so that's the good news. So anyway, this is the second load. There's already a first load up there, which means I got some heavy gradu up there. I'm going to try putting, I don't know that I'm going to need this coat tonight because it's like 100 degrees out, but I don't have anything but a t-shirt. So in case it gets cooler, let's try sticking the sleeve through here. Maybe tighten the knot. And head up there. The walk isn't too far, isn't too bad, but when I took the first load up earlier, it was extremely hot. And I've got 3 bottles of water in here, which is helping weigh this down. And I've already got one up there. So here we go. It starts out pretty good, kind of like everything at White Pocket. But it rapidly turns into really, really loose sand. Right about there, you can probably see it. Just suddenly, every step you take is about 1/10 of an actual step. Sun's still pretty darn warm. You can see all these holes around in here. Makes you wonder what's coming out at night, but you can also see little beetle trails. Those are little beetle feet. I've seen those. Hopefully, I won't be seeing the snakes later, or scorpions, or any of that kind of stuff, because that'd be a pain. It's also kind of nice that there's flowers. It's been raining here a bunch, although they said the last week it's been very hot, and much of the water up here is dried up, but there's still 3 or 4 reasonable pools. So I'm hoping to get some reflections of the Milky Way tonight. If the other 9 people up here aren't running around with flashlights and flash bulbs and God knows what else. It's kind of a shame because it's Friday night and I didn't think about that. I bet if I'd been here last night, I'd had the place to myself. But such is the life of an astrophotographer. And this sand is really, you can tell by the footsteps, just really, really loose. Makes sand on a beach seem downright firm. So, I'm toting about probably 60, 75 pounds of extra gear. Man, it's nice to walk on rocks and actually get some traction back to the sand. But we're about to pop out into White Pocket. This is the worst spot right here, because you know you're about to get there and the sand is really deep. and really painful. Stop. You can just see it's hard to believe it's even sand. And here we are at the entrance to White Pocket. Not sure how the camera's going to show this with the sun right where it's at. Our path's going to be right over between that area there. I've actually shot that before, but that's where the pools of water are. And I scouted around a fair amount and couldn't find any other pools. Here's this weird rock too. I call it brain rock because it kind of looks like a brain, and it's got these weird fossils or something in it. Something was fossilized in there. It's kind of interesting looking. See, this would have been probably a few days ago. It had water in it and been a good reflections pool. But it's dried up. It's still a little damp, but this is probably 2 or 3 days late getting here. It's actually got a couple puddles here. If everybody's congregated over at the this back area, I may come shoot this first just to have something to do rather than sitting waiting for everyone else to finish. The trouble is, my panoramas are 25 images at 30 seconds each, so it takes quite a while, and people get impatient, and I can understand that. I don't know water down in there. I was hoping maybe we'd have a reflection pool or two. I thought that one area where the weeds were might be a possibility. You can see the ground, how uneven it is. Almost looks like there's dinosaur footprints in the thing. It's kind of bizarre. I'd like to know what causes those. I mean, like I said, they almost look like cloven hoofs of some type. And I know this has been a water hole for animals out here for years, so not certain if possibly the cows would step in exactly the same spots coming for water and just wore that away. But now we're on to this giant pile of brain stuff, and again, there's just, I don't even know how to describe what those are. Looks like some kind of sea life. And you can see we have this trail continuing, and it almost makes me wonder if there isn't some footing that's better for a cow, and you just follow this. Okay, we've got another pool here, and that definitely has possibilities. And I was kind of sad, I thought there were a bunch of pools there, but those are actually just dry sand. But at a distance, it looked like they were wet. But there's a little pool here. So again, if it turns out everyone's down here shooting, which is more or less what I expect, You can see it's pretty strange area. Pretty strange indeed. So my first load, if nobody helped themselves to it, should be sitting right over there, and there it is. Backpack number 1, tripod number 1, and the star tracker are over there. And now I'll go down into this area, and I'm sure the people that are here, hopefully they aren't all Milky Way people, but are looking for some sunset pictures and whatnot. Hopefully most of them go to bed, or at least are well behaved, because I would have really hated to come out here and somebody builds a giant campfire and runs the whole night. So if that happens, I think that we will have to have words, but campfires are out. Photos are one thing. Anyway, you can see those steps, little holes kind of continue. So I don't know if it's some kind of odd geological feature. I see almost like ruts, like a car coming down here. So I don't know if people drove cars here at one point. Maybe those were fence posts. Hard to say. There's one pool of water right there. There's a couple back there in the background. I think I'm going to set up above that with my time lapse. How's it going?
Really good.
And have you been here before?
No. I had no idea.
It's an interesting place, isn't it?
Unbelievable.
Okay, so you can continue to see the rock here. There's the big pool of water down there. I'm really excited to capture. There's one over in that area. There's one way back there. There's one here. There's this one. And then there's one over there. How'd you happen to come out here if you didn't know about it?
I have a really good travel guide.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah.
Okay, so you knew it was here. You knew it was here. You didn't just randomly drive and find it.
No.
Okay.
I just didn't know that you were here.
Sorry, I'm going to just set my stuff over here so for later on. Okay. Oh, that feels better. Load number 2 dropped. And you can see that's why I call the frog. And you can kind of see what the area looks like, and there's more over in the background there. I think I'll take a break and maybe do a part 2 as I start moving through this. But you can see from the one image I took before what we got that right there. And I think I'll try to get, this should work. Get the time lapse set up right about here. That should be fun. Just getting that reflection of the stars. This guy looks pretty good for tonight. So I think I'll stop this, and I'm going to move up in that way area generally. so this doesn't run too long for YouTube or somewhere.